आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On 10th of November 1698, Calcutta was sold to the East India Company. Having started trading in Bengal as early as 1633, the East India Company wanted to obtain more rights of trade in the region.
In 1682, Josiah Child was the governor of the English East India Company in London. Josiah Child was also the governor of Bombay. He sent William Hedges to Bengal in order to obtain an imperial farman. Due to the arrogance of the British, Emperor Aurangzeb broke off the negotiations. After that, Josiah Child decided to wage a war against Aurangzeb.
In 1685, the British sent out 12 warships to seize Chittagong. But fate took an interesting turn. During their voyage, the ships were dispersed due to strong winds. Some ships, instead of steering for Chittagong, entered the Hooghly. The arrival of such a formidable expedition alarmed the Mughals. The Mughal army offered negotiations, but the British in return strengthened their fleet and bombarded Baleshwar.
After that, Emperor Aurangzeb issued orders for the complete annihilation of the British possessions. In 1689, after a year of resistance, the English surrendered. In utter humiliation, the company sent envoys to Aurangzeb's camp to plead for a pardon. The company's envoys had to prostrate themselves before the emperor.
As a result, the company moved their factory about 20 miles down the Hooghly River to Sutanati. This settlement gradually extended to Calcutta and Govindpur. Calcutta became the headquarters of the East India Company in Bengal. Calcutta was renamed Calcutta by the British. And on 10th of November 1698, the company actually purchased the 3 towns of Sutanati, Govindpur and Calcutta.
Fortification of the town was completed in 1706. Known as Fort William, the settlement grew rapidly, and in 1707 it was raised to the status of a presidency. Kolkata later emerged as the pioneer center of Indian nationalism.
Today is also the birth anniversary of Surendranath Banerjee. Born in Calcutta on 10th of November 1848, Surendranath Banerjee was a major figure in Indian nationalism during the late 19th and early 20th century. A believer in moderate means, he was deeply committed to achieving constitutional objectives by constitutional methods.
Upon completion of his early education in India, Surendranath Banerjee went to London. In 1869, Surendranath became the second Indian to succeed in the Indian Civil Service competitive examination.
He was appointed to a post in Sylhet, in present-day Bangladesh, in his homeland. However, in 1874, he was dismissed for a minor and apparently inadvertent procedural error. Banerjee felt he had been discriminated against because he was an Indian. Upon returning to Calcutta in 1875, he embarked on a political career to organize Indian public opinion and protect the rights of Indians. To achieve this, he founded the Indian Association in 1876.
The Indian Association had set the stage for a more practical demonstration of the newly awakened sense of political unity of India. The first session of the Indian Association was held in Calcutta in December 1883. The session was attended by more than 100 delegates from different parts of India.
Banerjee was active in teaching for 37 years and considered it his chief vocation, though inseparable from his political work. Surendranath Banerjee took a chair in English literature at the Metropolitan Institution, now Vidyasagar College, and subsequently taught at the Ripon College, now Surendranath College.
In 1878, he became a proprietor of an English-language newspaper, the Bengali. through which he espoused liberal causes for nearly half a century. He also played a prominent role in the Indian National Congress from the time of its founding in 1885. He was the president of the Indian National Congress in 1895 and 1902.
Banerjee was a believer in moderate means of political agitation, meetings, petitions, and legislative action. His grasp of the English language and his skills as an orator and debater made him an outstanding public speaker. He reached the peak of his political career in opposing the partition of Bengal in 1905. During these years, he was often called the uncrowned King of Bengal.
He was elected to the Reformed Legislative Council of Bengal in 1921, knighted in the same year, and held office as Minister for Local Self-Government from 1921 to 1924. He was defeated at the polls in 1923. He breathed his last at Barrackpore on August the 6th, 1925.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.